Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers 2022 reception to celebrate the Chinese New Year, Year of the Tiger. Today, we celebrate a brand new year with the tiger representing strength, bravery, and power in Chinese culture, which comes as a bit of relief after a challenging year. We are honored to be joined tonight by our esteemed guest speakers. While we usually host our annual Chinese New Year celebrations in person at the Law Society, tonight we are hosting online via Zoom and YouTube right now, thanks to K Education for providing tech support for today's event. Let me also take this time to introduce myself. My name is Clive Wong, a new committee member of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers, and I will be your host for tonight's celebration. Let's now welcome our first speaker, the chairman of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers, Dr. Xiaojiu Zhu, MBE, who will give a few words to kick off tonight's celebrations. Dr. Zhu obtained her doctorate in biochemistry and does her postdoctoral research with MIT and MRC in the UK before qualifying as a solicitor with Clifford Chance in London. Dr. Zhu is devoted to the Chinese education and was the head of London Mandarin School for 11 years. In 2019, Dr. Zhu was awarded an MBE in the Queen's New Year's Honor List for her services to the Law Society and the Chinese community. Let's welcome Dr. Zhu.
Thank you, Clive, and also thank you for taking on the MC last minute when our regular MC Lily is suddenly unable to join you. And welcome to our committee, actually. Welcome our guests, members, and friends. And I'd like to thank Clive for taking on the MC, but also thank our invited speakers. Stephanie Boyce, President of the Law Society of England and Wales, your staff SRA, Sarah Owen MP, Mr. Xue Juntong, Minister Consular and Consul General from the Chinese Embassy UK, Madam Xiao Liang, Deputy General Manager of Bank of China UK, Mr. Xiao Dongyu, Director and General Manager of China Taiping Insurance UK. All of you and other organizations have supported us, for which we are grateful. In 20 years, the legal landscape for the Chinese lawyers in the UK much has changed, from working hard, keeping their heads above water, to become valued by their firms due to the increase in the UK-China trade. Our group also changed from fostering relationships among the members with cultural events to actively helping others, providing weekly pro bono services since 2017, legal talks including racial intolerance, encouraging Chinese to report hate crimes that mushroomed during the pandemic, and also on Brexit to have better understanding of the country we live in. More details to follow with Rui Hua's talk. The UK-China relationship experienced a golden era, but suddenly a change of a menu. Many of us like spicy food, but not the spicy story of a Chinese spy who is also a solicitor. It does not sit well with us. No evidence was given, no principle of presumption of innocence respected. The story had a much negative impact on the whole of the Chinese community, and many of our members were very concerned. It suggested a style of journalism echoing the heinous McCarthy era of the USA. I have always encouraged our members and our Chinese community leaders to get involved and participate in the UK business, culture, and politics to better empower not only ourselves, but to foster better mutual understanding and empathy of our host country culture and our own. 请进来走出去, invited them in and walk out. The recent negative publicity threatens to undermine our confidence in trying to integrate into the British society. What should we do? Obviously, more understanding, but also the fortitude, the wisdom, and the strength of the tiger, especially in the year of the tiger. Let's carry on our good work forward for another 20 years, and 祝大家新年里如虎添翼, like tigers with wings, to face the COVID, the hate crime, and dispel any basis for xenophobia. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ju, for the introduction. Now continue to our celebrations. Let's welcome our second speaker of the night, Ms. Stephanie Boyce, President of the Law Society of England and Wales, who joined us last year for the Chinese New Year celebration. Since 2015, we have representatives from the Law Society to speak at our annual Chinese New Year reception. Stephanie, as a council member of the Law Society of England and Wales, representing the Women's Lawyer Divisions, former chair of the Strategic Litigation Group, and a member of the board of the Law Society, a solicitor member of the Joint Tribunal Service, and holds a number of statutory appointments with a local authority. Let us please now welcome Stephanie.
Thank you very much, Clive, for that introduction. It is a pleasure to be with you all this evening to mark the beginning of the Year of the Tiger. I understand that the tiger is a symbol for the upholding of justice and the exercising of evil, but not too dissimilar from the role that we lawyers play. We too seek to ensure that justice is done and that wrongdoing is remedied through although perhaps we do so in less dramatic ways than the tiger does. I am confident, however, that as we can harness the tiger's characteristic, bravery and competitiveness this year in standing up for the rule of law and building on England and Wales standing as a global legal centre, I am hopeful that this year will be an auspicious one for us lawyers, and I wish you all in particular a successful and prosperous new year. So there is no one button to press in terms of diversity, and Chinese lawyers make an invaluable contribution to the legal system here in England and Wales, and all of you on this call this evening are testament to that. And I am proud that our jurisdiction is one that is open to the best talent from across the world, where lawyers who originally qualified and practiced in other jurisdictions can come to build their careers. However, I'm also conscious that coming from a unique background can bring with it challenges when it comes to settling in our profession. It is something I am well aware of, and one of my priorities for my presidency of the Law Society is helping to ensure that our profession is open and inclusive of people from all kinds of backgrounds as it can be. So while we have come some way in our pursuit of a diverse and inclusive legal sector, there is a lot more to be done if we are to achieve what we are aiming for, a legal profession that reflects the society it serves. And this is not just a moral necessity, just as our legal system's international reputation and the reputation of those that practice within it rest in part on ensuring universal access to justice in the United Kingdom. It also rests on ensuring that the legal profession is representative, because we cannot claim to be the best it can be, our legal system, the best that it can be, if talented people from non-traditional backgrounds are unable to join or advance within our profession. So there is no one button marked that you can press that will suddenly make lawyers diverse. It's a complex issue with many factors, but a first step is to identify the root causes and looking to counter them. And that is what we at the Law Society are trying to do regarding solicitors. So with the pandemic having exacerbated inequalities across the sector, lawyers with disabilities, women, LGBTQ+, and Black, Asian and minority ethnic lawyers need the support more so than ever of their law society. And that's why I have spent my time as president challenging harmful and reductive attitudes on panels, writing articles, giving speeches, as well as through the resources that we provide to our members. Attitudes like the belief that flexible working is lesser than presenteeism, that blind allocation is unnecessary, and this whole diversity thing will just sort itself out and doesn't need real commitment or effort from anyone. It is still than the one I entered, but I'm clear that it must be a shared ambition with each and every one of us playing our part. We mission I intend to pursue, like the tiger, with the tenacity of the tiger in this new lunar year. I'm sure you will all be pursuing your own goals and representing your clients with similar determination over the course of the year. So I will finish once again, wishing you good fortune and happiness for the year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephanie, and for your speech and your wishes and your support to our society in bridging the gap between different ethnic minority societies. So now, before we invite our next speaker, I would invite you all to partake in our group photograph session. So let's all take a group photo to include all our speakers for the night, our members, and also the rest of the audience. So if I could invite you to currently who are watching on Zoom right now, to switch on your camera and let's get ready to take a photo. And that will be great. If you could turn on your video, which I see a lot of you have already done so. Yeah, we'll start taking one on 3. So 1, 2, 3, say cheese.
Cheese.
I've been told we need 10 seconds for this, so please just bear with me. So great. I assume we are done, but please correct me that if I'm wrong. Cool. Yeah, we'll proceed then in that case. And thank you all. And thank you, Stephanie, again for the speech. So up next, we have our next speaker, Mr. Xue Juntong, Minister, Counselor, and Consul General of the Chinese Embassy. Mr. Tong was a speaker in previous years at our annual Chinese New Year receptions, and we're delighted to welcome him back here again tonight. Mr. Tong obtained his bachelor degree in art from Wuhan University and obtained a master's degree in international public relations from Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies in 2003. Mr. Tong joined the Foreign Ministry in 1993, first in Perth and then in San Francisco, before joining the Chinese Embassy in London. Let's please welcome Mr. Tong.
Thank you. Respected Dr. Zhu Xiaojiu, Chairman of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers. Respected Stephanie Boyce, President of the Law Society of England and Wales. Madam Xiao Liang, Deputy General Manager of the Bank of China, London. Members of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers. Dear friends, it is a great pleasure for me to attend the 20th anniversary of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers and the 2022 Chinese New Year of Tiger reception. It's so good to see so many old friends again. First of all, on behalf of the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the UK, I would like to wish you all a happy, healthy, and prosperous Year of the Tiger. I would like to use 4 H's to describe the Chinese New Year. The first H is for hope. As the Chinese saying goes, a year's success starts with what you do in spring. It is the season when nature comes back to life and resumes its vigor. It is also a time when people make plans and get started. The second H is for home. The Chinese New Year is the most important occasion for family reunion. We believe that the country is a big family, and the destiny of individual families and the entire country are closely connected. In the face of the common challenges such as climate change and COVID-19, the world is also a big family. We must look out for each other to overcome the difficulties of our times. The third H is for harmony. As a tradition, we Chinese believe that harmony in the family leads to success in everything. In handling the relations between people as well as states, the Chinese people respect diversity and seek harmony. Only by respecting each other and keep an open mind can we live in harmony and learn from each other and grow together. The fourth H stands for health. Coming into the third year since the outbreak of COVID-19, the pandemic remains a challenge to life, health, and global economic development. The very best wish the people would like to send to your family and friends is no doubt good health. The past year, the Year of the Ox, has been a milestone for China. It was filled with major events, joyous occasions and proud achievements. The Beijing 2022 Olympics and the Paralympic Winter Games will make Beijing the first city in the world hosting both the Summer and the Winter Olympics. Let's wish the Beijing Winter Olympic Game a great success and athletes from China, the UK, and other countries excellent performance. In the Chinese culture, tiger is a symbol of courage and fortitude. Let's emulate this spirit and join hands to strive for greater progress in China-UK relations. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tung, for your speech. And I'm sure a lot of us can benefit from your insights. So up next, our next speaker of the night is Ms. Liang Xiao, Deputy General Manager of the Bank of China, London. Madam Xiao has been working in Bank of China since 1996. Madam Xiao is the co-chair of Bank of China, London and UK ESG Working Group, where she assists the CEO to oversee the bank's ESG development. She is also a member of the Executive Management Committee, Assets and Liabilities Management Committee, Risk Management and Internal Control Committee of the bank. Let us please welcome Ms. Xiao.
Thank you, Clive, for your kind introduction. Minister Councillor Tong Xuejun, Chairman Zhu Xiaojiu, President Stephanie Boyce, ladies and gentlemen, Happy Chinese New Year. It is a real pleasure to join you at the 2022 Chinese New Year celebration by the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers. Firstly, on behalf of Bank of China London and UK Limited, I would like to extend my warm greetings to all of you. May the Year of the Tiger bring you and your family a lot of joy, health, and success. I would also like to take this opportunity to send our congratulations to the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers for reaching a remarkable milestone as it celebrates its 20th anniversary. Over the past years, the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers has done a tremendous job in delivering professional legal services to both Chinese and UK customers, as well as promoting the stronger communication and open exchanges between the lawyers from both China and the UK. Moreover, it has been serving the Chinese community generously by providing pro bono, as mentioned by Dr. Zhu, free legal services and support to the underprivileged. Bank of China admires your dedication and contribution, and we are very pleased to join hands with you as a partner on our journeys over the past 20 years. I think both law firms and banks play an important role in our community. We uphold the same spirit of high professionalism, excellency, and openness. We also share the common mission of contributing towards a strong sense of corporate social responsibility and facilitating economic, culture, and people exchange between China and the UK. As the first Chinese financial institution that was opened in this global financial center 93 years ago, Bank of China has always been committed to serving both Chinese going out companies and foreign companies looking to establish connections with China, and acting as a bridge between our two nations. We also take pride in our contribution towards many social activities, such as promoting Chinese New Year celebration across the UK, supporting the Lord Mayor's appeal, participating in the UK-China charity initiatives, and helping the NHS and local communities combating the pandemic. 2022 is a very special year. It marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of ambassadorial level diplomatic ties between China and Britain. The much anticipated, the 11th China-UK Economic and Financial Dialogue is also set to resume this year. We look forward to continuing our work with the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers and people from all walks of life in both our countries to deliver excellent service to our customers, to play an active part in our local communities, and also to advance the China-UK relations, bring them to a higher level. Ladies and gentlemen, the tiger is a very auspicious animal in Chinese culture. It always symbolizes strength, courage, and fortitude. With the blessing of the Year of Tiger, let's work together for a shared future. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Xiao. And thank you to the Bank of China for its continued support to our society. So up next, we are supposed to have Ms. Sharon Owen, MP, to join us, but she is unfortunately unable to join us tonight. However, we do have a message from her, which she sent her regards, and I'm going to read out the message now. 恭喜发财. I'm sorry not be joining you, but wish you all a happy and healthy new year. I hope the Year of the Tiger is one of strength and resilience as our community recovers not just from the pandemic, but also the horrors that COVID-19 brought. The COVID-19 related racism aimed at our ESEA community, the loved ones we have lost, the financial hardships, and being apart for so long from the people we cherish dearly. As we welcome in the new year, we continue to hope and strive for a brighter future for all, especially those who are marginalized, struggling, or vulnerable in our society. So that is the message from the Sarah Owen MP, and thank you for wishes. Up next, we have Mr. Yu Xiaodong, Director and General Manager of China Taiping Insurance, who was with us last year during our Chinese New Year celebration. Mr. Yu has more than 20 years of actuarial and risk management experience in larger financial and insurance groups and various insurance companies. Mr. Yu was not able to join us in person tonight, but he did make a video and send us a video. So we're going to show you the video now on the call.
Dear Dr. Zhu, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to be invited to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers and the Chinese New Year. On behalf of China Taiping, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all an auspicious and prosperous Year of the Tiger. In 2021, operations in many industries continue to be challenged, and Taiping Insurance is no exception. Despite the difficulties, we strive to provide satisfactory service to our customers as usual. During this process, we also benefited from the support of the professional law firms in London. It reinforced our understanding of the importance of lawyers in doing business in the UK. It's really important. Here, I'd like to share with you some update of China Taiping UK. We just formulated a new 5-year plan. In the years ahead, China Taiping UK is committed to becoming the preferred insurance company for the overseas Chinese students, and Chinese-funded enterprises in the UK, and establishing a unique brand. For example, in 2021, we launched the first insurance product specially designed for Chinese and international students. China Taiping UK also aims to do more for the local community and fulfill our social responsibility. We have sponsored the table tennis England and hope to see more people participate in and enjoy the sport in the days after COVID. 20 years is like a flash. On this special occasion of the Society's 20th anniversary, I sincerely wish the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers continued development and growth in the future. We also look forward to working with the Society together to deepen the cooperation between China and the UK. In Chinese, Taiping means peace and security. In the Year of the Tiger, wish you all live a happy, healthy, and peaceful life. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Yu, for the video. I think we can all say that peace is definitely something we'll definitely need in 2022. Moving on, do you know that this year is actually the 20th anniversary of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers? It's just amazing how quick time flies. On that note, and last but not least, we now have the Vice Chairman of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers, Ms. Ruihua Wang, to give us a brief summary review of our society's achievement in the past 20 years. Ruihua is a dual qualified lawyer in China, England, and Wales, having previously trained and worked at Linklaters London. Ruihua previously sat on the Ethnic Minority Lawyers Division of the Law Society of England and Wales, and she dedicates her time to supporting legal professionals and law students from ethnic minority backgrounds. Let's please welcome Ruihua to give us a presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Clive. In the last few years, it has always been my honor to almost close the online event by looking back our past year, our achievements and opportunities past year. But this year, I'm immensely proud because I've got the opportunity to take everybody here through the 20 years journey since the inception of the UK Society of Chinese Lawyers. So let me just share my screen. I did prepare a PowerPoint. Yeah. So, bear with me. This is truly an international event. I'm actually now based in Berlin. Not based in, I'm traveling in Berlin, sorry, but thanks for pandemic, thanks for the Zoom, we're able to celebrate this occasion wherever we are. So as I said, this year is the 20th anniversary of our organization, and it is a hell of a ride, a journey since we were founded by Xiaojiu back in 2002. So it's an interesting story how we were founded. It's actually on the suggestion of one of our Consul General of the Chinese Embassy. So back then, I understand from Xiaojiu that there were already other professional organizations for accountants or for other professionals, Chinese professionals in the UK, but there wasn't one for Chinese lawyers. So the Consul General Sun Dali kindly suggested to Xiaojiu, who gladly took on the advice and founded this organization. When it was founded, we were not as big as we are now. So I believe we were only around 30 lawyers. And they were the lawyers who arrived in the UK mainly maybe in the 1980s or 1990s. And the membership were mainly solicitors who are sole practitioners or who work in city law firms. But from the very beginning, lawyers being lawyers, we always had a very clear objective, which is on the next slide. I'm not going to take you through each of those because of the time restriction, but I'd like to distill 3 key words from our objectives, which is connection, partnership, and service. So in my next hopefully 10 minutes, I will focus on these 3 keywords rather than taking through our events in a chronological order. So in the first 10 years of our organization, I see as we're taking baby steps in the very early stage. We are much smaller than now. We now have around 200 members. Back then we were much smaller. But we also started to expand our membership from solicitors to barristers to also law students and to people who work in academia. Xiaojiu would fondly remember that back then there was a quite healthy turnover. So there would be students or lawyers coming to the UK, but some of them would also return to China, being drawn by the exponential economic growth in China. So the talent has been drawn to China. So we have quite a bit of a back and forth of members. But at the beginning, the Xiaojiu was only hoping to set up this organization to give support to our lawyers. The last couple of years, I believe we all recognize how important connection and support, mutual support it is for us as a human being and as a profession. So that's our initial objective. But Xiaojiu is a very cultured person, so she also worked with many Chinese artists to promote Chinese culture. And I believe that was 2012, that was before I joined UK Society of Chinese Lawyers. We had a 10-year anniversary, which was very well attended, I believe, lovely 3-course meal. And we have very famous MP Jeffrey Clifton Brown, I believe he's knighted, give a very, very good speech. And we always had Consul General from the Chinese Embassy, back then was Tang Li, I believe, attending our 10 years anniversary. So you can see that we've come to a very good start, but we're still quite young in the first 10 years. Then in the second 10 years, that's where I believe we kind of growing from a toddler into adolescence, teenage adolescence. So Xiaojiu has always had a group, and in 2015 I met Xiaojiu. Back then I was already socializing with a group of Chinese lawyers who came to the UK slightly later, and so we decided that it doesn't make sense if we do things separately, because we apparently share the same value and objective. So we decided to join. My group decided to join Xiaojiu's organization. But after that, we've also started to look outward. So not only to support our membership, support our Chinese lawyers, we started to look around, because we're now more mature, more grown up, and we wanted to see what we can do to give back to the community and the business, Chinese business around us. We've also started to partner very closely with the various organizations who some of them are present today. So the Law Society, which is each solicitor's mothership, and more recently with Solicitors Regulation Authority, and of course our long-term partner and Chinese Embassy, and the Chinese Community Center is our partner with our flagship pro bono project since 2017. And also before pandemic, I believe Edmund is here, so the chairman of Chinese Information and Advice Center. We used to every month provide free legal advice to the people they support. You will also notice that in my next few slides, we have more pictures because we become better at recording what we do in the second 10 years. So coming on to the keywords that I kind of picked up in our objectives. So connection. That's how we kind of how Xiaojiu started the organization. We wanted to provide mutual support to Chinese lawyers because we would appreciate that. And so does Stephanie, that being an ethnic minority group in the kind of quite mainstream, highly demanding profession, we do have a lot of challenges as Chinese lawyers. So we do need to come together and support each other. But also Xiaojiu did a very good job connecting with other professionals and other Chinese artists to promote Chinese culture. Okay, you will see these very fancy, very beautiful flyers of our past events. So the Chinese New Year reception, as you are attending now, has always been our annual event. But we also celebrate other Chinese festivals to reconnect with our roots. And I'd like to especially mention this event. It's the third picture at the bottom. So 2021 we were still during the outbreak of the COVID, and this event was put together or initiated by UK Society of Chinese Lawyers together with let me get the names right, with UK China Economics and Cultural Promotion Association. So this event is special because we were in the middle of the pandemic, and Xiaojiu and this organization managed to pull together artists, 600 artists from 5 continents. So we kind of really reunited the Chinese communities globally. And the name of the event is called Sounds of Spring, so bringing hope to people in difficult times. Moving on to the next keyword, partnership. This is very important to us because anybody, actually, any organization who wants to achieve things in a society has to have partners. So we are very privileged and lucky to have worked very closely with all of these organizations on these slides. I'd like to especially mention Chinese Embassy, Mr. Tong Xuejing, your predecessors kindly suggested to Xiaojiu to set up this organization. That's the reason why we started. But you've always, Chinese Embassy has always supported us and encouraged us to work with the Chinese community and serve the Chinese community. And I will have more slides to touch upon that. Of course, the Law Society, Stephanie, almost every president of the Law Society has been on our events to give talk and encourage the Chinese lawyers. The Solicitors Regulation Authority is relatively our new partner. So I will come to that. So let's first come to the Chinese Embassy. So you will see Mr. Tong Xuejing was talking in that picture. So this is one of our annual forums that we had every year before the pandemic. It's a physical forum with the Chinese Embassy. So our members would share with the Chinese Embassy how we serve the Chinese community, how we use our knowledge and experience to help the Chinese nationals in the UK. And the second picture is Xiaojiu was giving a talk, which some of our other members also participated. And the people in the audience are Chinese business, Chinese different societies, and the average Chinese community members. And the topics that we gave talk on include landlord and tenancy law, criminal procedures. I give a talk on protection of personal data. So a lot of very practical advice and talk given by us. We really look forward to kind of going back to this format when the COVID restriction has been lifted, because we really miss connecting with the Chinese community in person. So moving on to the Law Society, I just wanted to, we've done many events together with the Law Society. So before pandemic, we used to host our Chinese New Year reception at the Law Society, beautiful Law Society reading room. But in these two, I would like to mention, so the first picture is an event back in 2016, hosted in a law firm called Simmons & Simmons. And that was a very special event because we, together with Law Society, we translated and launched 2 legal guides. You can see on the slide the names. I believe the gentleman standing in the middle is the then president of the Law Society. And the second picture on the right is another kind of example of how we work together with Law Society. So Law Society routinely receive delegates groups from China. So this gentleman is the lead of the delegate from a Chinese prosecutors group, and Xiaojiu, together with Macau Laurent, the head of the international department of the Law Society, received a delegate, and they had a very passionate discussion about the legal systems in 2 countries. The Law Society, as I said, is our solicitors mothership, and it's very close to my heart because I personally served 3 years on the Ethnic Minority Lawyers Group committee, and I had a great time and also learned so much from other ethnic group lawyers, the Black lawyers, the Muslim lawyers, and knowing that we're not alone, the Chinese lawyers group and we really showed solidarity to work together to tackle the injustice and inequality of these ethnic minority lawyers. I'm very glad to report that Clive, our MC, has, in a way, received a torch from me and has carried on. So he's now a new member of the EMLD community. I'm very sure that he will do a great job voicing concerns on behalf of Chinese lawyers and also other ethnic minority lawyers. Okay. Now, as I said, Solicitors Regulation Authority is the regulator of the solicitors. We kind of worked with them more actively during the pandemic, and you can see these two events that we hosted together with the SIA. The first one is about the solicitors qualification exam, which is a new way of qualifying as a solicitor in the UK. You will notice that actually, UK is such a sorry, I think to be precise, we should say England and Wales is such an open nation that it welcomed us as Chinese nationals to be able to qualify as an English solicitor. But back then it's very competitive to qualify through the old route, which is getting a training contract. But now this new route, the method has been rolled out, and it's good news for many Chinese students or young Chinese lawyers who wanted to qualify into an English solicitor. So we had this talk and we had audience dialing from Hong Kong and mainland China. It just shows how much interest it has attracted. And the second talk we kind of had together with the SIA is about anti-money laundering practice. Many of our members actually, they are either sole practitioners or they run smaller practice. So the anti-money laundering compliance is a very relevant issue to big law firms and also to smaller firms. So we had this talk with the relevant officials at the SI, again, very well received. And Xiaojiu and myself also participate in some roundtable organized by SIA on the diversity inclusion topic. Okay, moving on to the Chinese Community Center. So this is our, I've always called them a flagship project because even during the pandemic, we never stopped. So before the pandemic, we have every Saturday between 3 and 4, we have lawyers sitting in a room in the Chinese Community Center, which is in Chinatown, and receiving up to 3 or 4 clients who cannot afford legal advice. And so we would listen to them and answer their legal queries. But since the pandemic, we moved our pro bono project online or on the telephone. And so we were able to continue this service, and in a way also serving our younger membership. So our law students were able to volunteer and shadow more experienced lawyers to see how we do client interview and how we solve problems. So as I said, we have been active since February 2017. So it's coming to 5 years, how time flies. And we used to serve client in person 3 or 4 a week. So it comes to almost 100 individuals each year. But we are still going, and we are pretty sure that once the restriction has been lifted, we might move back to in person. But the remote access has been so good for the clients and for the lawyers who, if there's whether disruption like what we have now in the storm, we can still serve clients anywhere. So that's how we want to run it going forward. I also wanted to mention law firms because before the pandemic, most of our events are held in person, And we are an entirely voluntary organization. We don't have any funds or donations. So law firms are very kind to have provided us with venue. It's very important for an event to go ahead, with a venue, and also they kindly provided refreshments and also speakers. I'd like to especially mention 3 law firms. King & Wood Mallesons has kindly provided a venue for more than 2 events for us. And Simmons & Simmons, as I said, in 2016. And then Kennedy Howard also provided events, a venue for 2 of our events. So thank you to them. I would encourage more law firms to work with us, because it will also raise your profile in supporting the Chinese Lawyers Society. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna quickly go through these because I noticed time is ticking. So we have already moved. I'm moving to the second. Sorry, it's the third actually keyword, which is service. So when we started, when Xiaojiu founded the organization, we always have the objective to serve our own members, to connect our members, and not only those in the UK, but also those from China. So to that end, we organize a lot of events for our members on career development. So you will see on the picture on the right is a panel discussion. The panel consists of lawyers who work in law firms, what we call private practice, and some lawyers who work in companies, employed by companies, so we call them in-house lawyers. And this is the very kind of distinct, different career routes for lawyers in the UK. And we invite the successful lawyers who are in these areas and share with young lawyers and aspiring law students, which is a very, very successful event. And the one on the left was back in 2020, 2019, I believe. So that was, again, before the pandemic. We invited some litigation lawyers to share the new trends in litigation about litigation funding and how technology can be used to help dispute resolution. Now moving on to the next group that we serve. As I said, our flagship project serves the disadvantaged Chinese community. Many of them do not speak English very well. Many of them don't even speak Mandarin. So we had translators from the Chinese Community Center as well to help us serve them. So, and the one on the left is a Zoom session. You can see the clients and Xiaojiu at the corner, and the one on the right is a in-person session. And of course, we not only serve the disadvantaged group, we also serve a much wider community. And you can see the one on the picture on the left is myself and 2 other lawyers receiving a group of Chinese law students. And we share with them how we came to the UK and qualify in the UK and began our practice here. And the one on the right is Xiaojiu giving a talk to the youngsters in the Chinese community and inspire them to pursue a legal career. You'll be very happy to hear that I'm about to finish, but I have to mention this because we not only are legal professionals, but we are also, people of Chinese background. And in the last couple of years, there's increasing incidents of anti-Asia hate crime and also racism against the Chinese or the wider Asian community. So we show our solidarity, and Xiaojiu, together with some other leaders in the Chinese community, set up this organization called International Chinese Alliance Against Racism. We actively campaign against injustice and inequality against the Chinese and Asian community. And we will continue to do that by sharing case studies and providing resources for people in need. So what's beyond, this is a wonderful journey we have been on. I believe we have grown and matured to some extent, and we'll be more confident to take the organization forward. We have more young blood joining us, both as volunteers and committee members. I myself will relocate to Shanghai for a while, so I will, hopefully provide some space for new enthusiastic volunteers to come in to show their talents, and also we'll keep up with the good work. Hopefully, we'll be able to meet you in person soon when the restrictions lifted, and we will celebrate many good occasions with you in person. So that's all from me. Clive, back to you.
Thank you, Ruihua, for the detailed presentation and recap. We look forward to the next 20 years of the society. We hope our society can continue to provide better service to the community in 2022 and beyond. This now concludes our speakers for the night. But before we conclude the night, we have a few presentation and performances to show you. But now I want to also say thank you for all the esteemed speakers and speeches. We look forward to a future of new opportunities and cooperation together. In terms of performances, the first is a dance called 向往行, which is a modern take of Chinese classic dance performed by the UK China Performing Arts, UKCPA. The second piece is a song called 故乡情思, performed by Dai Yuqiang. It's a traditional Chinese song that brings all of our thoughts back home. And lastly, we also have a Tai Chi performance called 行云流水, which means to move like the cloud and water. The performance was initially shown on this year's Chinese New Year Gala on CCTV, and I hope you enjoy the performances.
深情的大地，我想你，我知道你水边的几彩花，哪一朵先开？我知道你山中的柳丝，哪一枝鲜绿？上眼睛，你就来到我梦里；望见流云，你就飞进我的心里。相思托起，故乡神奇的大地，我想你，我知道 你幸福的大厦，那一座正在崛起。我是你手中的风筝，走得再远，我也忘不了故乡的希冀。天天带给你好的消息，生我养我的情思，绵绵的大
those are some great performances, and that marks the end of our celebrations tonight. We want to take